Jammie and Jammie's magic in the air.
Hey guys, Megan Barker here from the Jammie Cam. If you don't know what Jammin' and Jammies is, it's a live show that happens here in Nashville featuring hit songwriters and rising artists in pajamas. Right now we're doing everything via live stream on Sunday nights on Instagram, so make sure you check that out. And while we're all sitting at home in our pajamas a little more right now, we're sitting down with some of our favorite songwriters and finding out their stories and their process and picking their brains. Today we have Mr. Pete Sallis. Pete is a super successful songwriter here in Nashville with cuts by artists like Ronnie Dunn, Bucky Covington, Kev Moe, American Idol winner Philip Phillips, and you definitely remember his smash hit for Maddie and Tay, Shut Up and Fish. Pete is also a smash hit. He's also been, though, a touring drummer with major artists, and he's written songs with some of the biggest songwriters in the world. So there's a lot of ground to cover. So, Pete, how you doing?
Hey, I'm very old, too, so I've been around long enough. I'll tell you what not to do.
No, you're not. But I would love for you to just start at the beginning. Tell us where you're from and how you got into music.
Okay, well, I was born in July 26th. That far back? How far back are we going?
No, I like that. Are you a Cancer? I'm a Cancer, too.
Was that a Cancer? No, it's a Leo.
Oh, yeah, you're totally.
Yeah, I was born the youngest of 7. I was kind of a mistake. There's like 8 years between me and my next oldest sister, but I think the mailman came around that day and my mom was lonely. But so, long story short, I picked up a pair of drumsticks in 5th grade and started playing just one drum for like 3, the marching band and the symphonic band and all through junior high and high school. And in high school, I got my first drum set. Like more than one drum. I had like a whole drum set. And after 2 years of doing that, and as a junior in high school, I met Billy Corgan.
No way.
We went to the same high school.
Wow.
Yeah, he was 2 years ahead of me, and we were in a band for 2 years called Lex, L-E-X. I don't know why we named it that, but we pretty much just played graduation parties, barbecues. We pretty much covered Rush, Led Zeppelin. He's a big Black Sabbath fan.
Nice.
So, we played for 2 years together, and then I graduated high school and moved to San Diego for like a year, and then moved to Nashville.
And you went to Belmont, didn't you?
Yeah. I was at Belmont, and I remember being in the laundry room downstairs, seeing this video on MTV. I'm like, who is that guy? That was Billy Corgan. Like, I had never put together that he was in Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
That moment of like, oh, that's so crazy. If I'd have stayed 2 more years.
Did you ever reach out to him? Did y'all ever talk again?
Yeah, I actually talked to him last year for the first time in 20 years. But yeah, so it's fun to see him online and doing all that stuff. Anyway, so I moved to Nashville to do the songwriting thing, but I kind of started playing drums for about 9 years. From Mindy McCready. I started out in Christian music. I grew up on a lot of Christian music. And I started playing with Mike English, Bob Carlisle, Butterfly Kisses guy. So about 9 years playing just drums on the road full time, went all over the world. And the only place I haven't been is like China and anywhere in the Far East. Wow. And Iceland. I haven't been to Iceland, but every other continent I've been on. So
that's amazing. Wait.
Yeah.
Side note, I have to know, what's your favorite place you've ever been?
I think Prague, Czechoslovakia.
Really?
Yeah. It was just the architecture is like pre-World War II because Hitler was going to bomb them. So Prague gave Hitler their town, really, in essence, so he wouldn't bomb his own town.
Yeah.
So a lot of that architecture there is because everything after World War II has been rebuilt in Europe. But Prague is one of the few that have pre-World War II architecture. So it's a lot older there for some reason. And just the girls and the people and, just the history was great. Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite place on earth. It's hard to beat Australia, but I couldn't live there full time.
Yeah.
It's so far removed. It's kind of living in Hawaii,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure a summer house in Australia wouldn't be horrible.
Oh, not at all. Just for, a month at a time or, live next door to Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, and when it's winter here, it's summer there. So it's kind of perfect.
Right. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
was fun for 9 years. And then, I ran into a drummer. I won't say who he played for, but he played for one of the biggest artists in Nashville. And he was working at Southwest, like load luggage. And I was like, man, this guy's got the biggest gig in Nashville.
Wow.
And he's not working because his artist had taken a year off to shoot a movie. Maybe they'll tell you who it is, but he took a year off to shoot a movie, and so he was working. I was like, it really opened my eyes, like, oh my gosh, you can have the best gig in town and still be unemployed,
Wow.
That really changed my thinking is, man, I got to do something to where I actually own it.
Yeah.
So I really started thinking, I've been writing my whole life, writing songs, but none of them were very good. At that moment when I really started to focus on songwriting. So for a couple of years, I would go to play publishers' songs like every month. I'd be on the road for 3 weeks, come home. I had a week to like meet everybody. So I'd kind of write songs on the road while I was drumming, write songs, come home, make quick work tapes, and go play like 8 to 9 different publishers every week.
Oh man.
And I did that for about 2 years. And early on in all my songs, people would die because I thought country music was all about people drinking and dying in a car crash, or all the sad country songs, Whiskey Lullaby, all that. But so I kind of you have to go through that process to learn what to write about and what to say and what not to say. But after a couple years, I was playing a gig with Joel Shoemake and Luke Laird. Luke called me like last minute on a Monday night. He had someone back out. He was in a round at Broken Spoke. And he said, man, you want to come in and join in? And I was like, I didn't want to do it, but I ended up doing it. And I played 3 songs. And in the audience that night, a guy who I'd never met, but I've been playing for all these publishers for 2 years. So one guy I never met, he just got a job at Combustion Music. And he saw me play 3 songs and said, man, come into my office tomorrow, Tuesday, play me some songs. So I played him 6 songs that I wrote. Everything I wrote was by myself back then. So I played him 6 songs that I wrote by myself, and he was like, man, where have you been? Blah, 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 blah. So Wednesday, he called me, and I was on a way to a meeting with another publisher, and he goes, look, if you come here, you won't have to go to that meeting. So I met him Monday night. Wednesday morning, I had a deal memo with like, we're going to sign you to your publishing deal. So in 3 days, I've been trying for 2 years, all these different people. Met this guy, and 2 days later had a deal at Combustion. So that was crazy. Of course, I only had 6 songs that they could, I wrote them all by myself, so they didn't have to guess what I did. They knew I could do lyric and melody and play and sing. So, It's funny, 'cause that's when I got into co-writing, and that took a while to actually learn and get used to. So I've actually been writing a lot more since the quarantine. I've been writing a lot of solo songs, which I miss doing. So I don't think I ever want to stop doing that now. So,
yeah, I think that's important for a songwriter. Keep writing by yourself. So
yeah, I think I went through 10 years writing by myself at all.
Yeah, I'm sure. But you get caught up in the hustle. You have to write.
Caught up in that machine, and you're supposed to co-write.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of songs I never would have wrote without a co-writer. And that way it's great. I never would have said it that way. But then also when you solo write, it's got your unique stamp on it. Sometimes you get watered down if you write with 2 other people, and they'll take your thought and change it, which is not wrong, but I don't know. A little more uniqueness when it's a solo write, I think.
Yeah. Well, in your bio, you've mentioned how many kind of world-renowned songwriters you've gotten to collaborate with. So can you tell us like what you learned when you first got in the room with them, and are you kind of trying to pass that along to youngins that want to write with you now? Like, tell us all about that.
Oh man, after I signed Combustion, my first professional co-write was Ashley Gorley.
Oh, stop! Oh my gosh. Well,
my first demo was an Ashley song I wrote, and I sang it at a demo because he was at Combustion at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still there, but he's got his own company now.
Yeah.
So that was my first world, and the first song we wrote was forgot how it felt. It was him and Brian Simpson, actually. So I was thrown right into that co-writing thing. You know, it took me a while to kind of actually like it, but I mean, probably. I mean, I've written with everybody. I can't even start. I mean, Tia Siller's my favorite co-writer ever. Um, Rivers Rutherford. The other guy I haven't written with is Jeffrey Steele.
Not yet.
No, but Craig Wiseman I've written with. I've written with, Tony Mullins, all the Hitmen guys.
Yeah.
Um, man, I should have 1,000 hits for all the guys I've written with.
You will.
But I remember trying to think of a lesson I learned. Craig Wiseman. I tell a lot of writers this all the time, but I remember writing with him the first song we wrote. And I was kind of like, you're in the room with Craig Wiseman, you're trying to think, oh man, you're kind of nervous because you don't know what's going to happen. But I was kind of struggling on a line. You got to get this line, you got to get this line. And he said, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, let's not waste time in that. Let's just, how do you say it? Let's build the house. We'll hang the curtains later.
Oh, I love that.
Let's frame the house. We'll hang the curtains later. We get so stuck on one line that you can kind of lose momentum and lose that, the groove that's going. So if you kind of get too stuck in one place, you could kill it. So let's just move on. Just trying to frame the house, get kind of what we know. I had another writer kind of taught me a thing. What do you want to say in the first verse? And on that first, we used to write in paper back then, not computer, but you would write the first verse. What do we want that verse to say? And we'll say on the margin, put like, that's what we want to accomplish. Same thing with the second verse and then the chorus, Yeah. Oh man, there's so many different.
Yeah. It sounds like you've had, I think like you had some mentors early on.
Oh yeah. I'm lucky to, I mean, it's a big, small town really. And it's just, everybody, we're all like pirates on the same ship. We're all trying to get to number one.
Yeah.
And we don't really like people to get on our ship. We're pirates. We're kind of bad guys. We really don't want you on our ship, but if somehow you get on, then you're one of us.
Yeah.
We don't need more pirates. We don't want more pirates because we're selfish and we want to be the only one writing songs.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get on the ship, but once you get on, it's a good gang of people.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you had some mentors early on that kind of guided you. I mean, would you say now that you're a pro and very established and successful that you're trying to pass along? Like, what's something that you say to?
I kind of say all the same things that were told to me.
Yeah.
It's really what it's all about is passing the information down.
Yeah.
Of course, the things that change, I remember when I first moved here, there were, I know writers that would tell me they'd write a song and walk it down to this office and then they'd cut it that day.
Yeah.
But that back, like Wood Newton, been here forever. Wood Newton was here at a time, early 80s, late 80s. I wasn't here yet, but, there was not that many writers doing it. They had probably 50, 60 writers in town. They could just walk over or call somebody and, in a week it'd be cut.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s, when Garth kind of blew up, everybody was here writing songs. And I remember when I first signed my deal in 2003, there were probably, there had to be like 1,500 to 2,000 staff songwriters, It was like everybody was making money and writing songs. And that was in the heyday.
Yeah.
Now I've heard it's like 300 to 350 songwriters now, like paid, have a publishing deal where you make money. Like
yeah.
A lot of people have publishing deals that don't make any money,
Yeah.
It's kind of like a publishing deal by name.
Right.
But I don't know what that point was about, but
that's all right. I'm curious. You talked a little bit about writing by yourself and the difference between writing with people, writing by yourself. What is your songwriting process? Do you ever write to tracks? Do you like to keep it on guitar?
I've done it all, but there's really not one way that's more successful. But the thing is, you got to show up. whether it's a track or whether it's just a guitar or a piano, whether it's 10 in the morning or 10 at night or in a dream. I mean, you got to show up to be present to win.
Amen.
It's like every day is a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
But you got to buy it. You got to buy
Yeah.
that lottery ticket. You got to go in the store. You got to do the work, and and every song is like a little piece of real estate.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like architects, and most of our buildings suck.
Yeah.
But every now and then you might sell a house.
I love that. That's a good analogy.
So we're all in the real estate business. We're all like, we got these little songs, these little like monopoly houses. Right now they're plastic,
Yeah.
little red houses. I got pockets full of them,
Yeah, right?
But every now and then you pass go and you collect a check.
You're really good at these colorful metaphors. I love it.
Oh, I'm just making it up off the top of my head.
Well, can you tell us what was your first cut, and how long after you signed your deal did a cut happen? And
Wow. Let me think about this. I know. Let's see. I signed my first deal in 2003 at Combustion, and actually, it's a song of theirs I wrote with a guy named Greg Becker.
Okay.
And we sat in the front steps of Combustion outside one time, and we wrote a song called "Somebody Wrote Love." And I remember my first artist that cut it, a guy named George Canyon up in Canada, who's like Elvis up there.
Oh.
And he released it, went to #1 in Canada, and it won Single of the Year. So,
Wow.
let's see here. I got a little. Hold on. So we got a little CCMA award right here. I don't know if you see that.
Oh.
I don't know
Oh,
if that's
sorry.
coming.
Wait. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Anyway, so
That's
that
so
was.
cool.
Oh, I remember being up in Canada and hearing that name called and your song. It's like everybody cheering. It blew my mind. For me, that was like the Grammys. First time you ever get a song, noticed. And the same song, it's the first time I ever had a song on the Grand Ole Opry. He came down and played with the Opry. Got to go there that night and hear it. That was cool. So that was my first song. But what's funny is how these songs get cut. At the time, my roommate was on the road playing for a Canadian artist, left a CD of mine on George's bus. I don't even know if it was on purpose. And so the artist, George, he kind of heard it. He liked 2 or 3 songs on there, and he, just said, I can put these 3 songs on hold, and he ended up cutting that one. I got to go see it here in Nashville. They came down here to cut it in the studio. And a side note is I got to go to the studio that day and see all these great players play on it. And me being a drummer growing up my whole life, Kenny Arnoff is a big drummer. He played for John Cougar, Mellencamp.
Wow.
He's like a huge drummer. And, if you're a drummer, you know him. Anyway, I got to sit right behind him and watch him play on my song.
Holy cow.
That eventually went to win Single of the Year and all that. Yeah, so that was cool as crap.
Yeah. So you had all these amazing moments, and I'm sure that just hooked you even more to write songs.
It's like crack, you can't stop.
Yeah. Well, okay. Can you take us into the whole process behind "Shut Up and Fish"? I mean, it was just such a huge song. I'm sure you've told the story a million times, but.
Yeah, no. I remember writing. I've been around here a few years. I've been writing songs, and Aaron Shears. You know Aaron?
I don't. No.
Aaron Shears ended up somehow he was writing at Big Machine at the time.
Okay.
Maddie and Tay were coming up from Texas. They were best friends down there. One from Oklahoma, one from Texas. They were best friends, and they were coming up like once every 2 months to write. And then back then they were 15 and 16.
Yeah.
They were coming up with their parents to write. And Aaron, because he was at Big Machine, kind of got hooked up with them and was writing with them a lot, kind of mentoring them, kind of producing all their tracks that they were writing. So he asked me to write with him, and we probably wrote, I don't know, 15 songs with him.
Wow.
And, and I think one of the first ones we wrote was "Shut Up and Fish." And, eventually Aaron produced their first record, which kind of turned into a different record that they brought Dan Huff in to produce. So And so luckily they kept our song on there, and but it was really a true story by them. They went fishing with a couple guys over the weekend, and they were kind of flirting with them and trying to hit on them, and they were like, "We ain't having none of this," you know. And that was on a Monday. We wrote that because they had just gotten off that weekend when that actually happened. So we wrote that on a Monday, and so long story short, that's when they didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
So, you know, a year and a half later, they finally hook up with Scott Pichetta, and that whole thing starts. And, you know, I'm just glad it made the record. You know?
Right.
And then they put it out as a single, and it got to 18 or 17 or 19, something like that. And Scott Pichetta told me the research, they didn't like girls telling boys what to do back then. So that's why it's why it pretty much died at 18. It floated away like a shut up fish, you know, at 18. So what are you gonna do? So yeah, they're great girls, and you know they didn't even need me in the room. Those two are really great writers by themselves. Even at 16, I remember thinking, wow, these girls know country music. You could tell they grew up on it because they know words for every song you bring up. They know the songs. They sing them out. So I mean, I was just lucky to be in the room because of Aaron asking me to jump in, and you know, they probably didn't need me or Aaron actually.
Oh, you're just being humble. We're not gonna have any of that. None of that.
If anything, I actually brought just a funny, stupid idea, you know, to their story. Shut up and fish. You know, I mean, nobody else would have thought of that but me.
That's totally Pete Sallis. I love it.
Oh yeah, because it's totally dumb.
Wow.
But yeah, they're great, and you know, they have a record that just came out, and the quarantine's kind of put all these things on hold. You know, like got record release parties online on Zoom. And it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is a crazy time. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're still creating. People that create have to create no matter what the circumstance, you know?
Yeah. Amen.
So,
is there, how do I phrase this? Is there anything that you wish you'd known when you first got here?
oh my gosh. Of course. You know, I spent my I was here 10 years as a drummer. I spent my first years on the road doing that. So my writing, I feel like I moved here actually in 2011. I was always gone the first 10 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that whole time I would like go home and I would sit there and listen to Tony Lane, Chris Wallen,
Yeah.
you know, Rivers, Craig Wiseman. I would like listen to their songs, their hit songs over and over, and I'd figure out why did this song move me, or why did I like this song? Not necessarily that it was number one, but I was like trying to figure out if I liked the song, why did it move me?
Yeah.
I like it, you know, and I would study their rhyme schemes. I tore these songs apart. It was like going to college.
Yeah.
You know, and every songwriter can do that. You know, find your favorite writer. Like Tony Lane is one of my favorite, and so I would tear these songs apart. But what I wish I knew now, or what I wish I knew then, what I know now, probably the more networking, going out at night. You know, 'cause I hate doing that. You know, and I don't drink, I've never been high or drunk in my whole life, not once.
Wow.
So that world's kind of foreign to me, but I should have still probably gone out and hung out more, just drink water or whatever. But so, because you know, I think it's probably 50% what you write and 50% who you know.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. I actually.
Back then, I always grew up thinking, and always, you know, living here the first 10 years, I thought the best song always wins. You know, the greatest song will always win.
No,
and that was a different world. Now it's the best song in that camp wins.
Yeah.
It's still the best song wins, but unfortunately, it's the best song in that camp.
Yeah.
So you got to get in that camp somehow, you know.
Yeah.
Especially now, ever since streaming and you know all that stuff has started happening.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised. I've heard so many songwriters say that they don't love going out and networking. I don't think that, you know, we're all kind of naturally introverted, I think, as creative people. So.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm a homebody for sure.
Yeah. You got to push yourself a little bit, unfortunately. But also, somebody mentioned to me recently in the industry, they think that the kind of camp thing is maybe going to slow down a little bit, and they're going to open things back up to, outside songs a little more. Do you see the industry going that way?
No, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't think so. Your song has to be so great, they're going to give you $500,000 out of their own pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how great it has to be. They have to want to give you a big check.
Yeah.
When they can write anything they wrote last week, they can put on their album and just make just as much money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the artists that stayed around forever, Tim McGraw, Miranda Lambert, Kenny Chesney, all these great acts, George Strait, never wrote a song. They just picked the best songs. They have a longest career out there,
Yeah.
Hopefully artists can kind of see. I wish maybe they'd go, I'll put 5 songs on here that I wrote, and 5 of the best songs I can find.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that they think these songs are the best songs I got. Well, every phone call.
Oh.
When everybody in the world in Nashville knows it's not true. These are not the best 10 songs you could find.
Yeah.
Because I hear them every night, wherever you go, almost like unplanned. Anywhere you go in a writer's night, you'll hear at least one song. You go, oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I pray it happens because obviously we need to get more cuts and more money.
Yeah.
But
That's fair. I'll believe it when I see it. But speaking of great songs, do you feel like playing a song for us?
Yeah. Let me hold on.
I kind of sprung it on you. I don't think I told you. You don't have to.
I'm trying to think of what song to play.
We'd love to hear 2 songs if you're up for it, but no pressure.
I'm trying to grab lyrics here.
Take your time.
I have to get my capo. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. I can edit this out. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. I know you don't like to edit, though.
That is not true.
Nobody likes to edit. Too much work. Capo. Oh. Dang. Where is? Oh, here it is. Okay.
I love the way that you set up all your frames behind you. You've got a real decorator's eye.
Oh, okay. Cool. I just try to make the tops all line up. That's all.
Did a good job.
Let's see. Trying to think of I could do like High Road. I wrote with Tia Sillers, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, please. That'd be great.
I remember me and Tia. If I could just write with her every day, I'd be totally happy. We actually wrote a song when we were packing up. We were at 1010, where she used to write back then. Blowing these candles out. And we were packing up. We were packing up, and for some reason, I don't know what we got on, how we got on the subject, but I know we wrote this in like 15 minutes.
Really?
Luckily she had her tape recorder going. I wish I could remember the story of why we wrote this, or how it started, but I don't remember, honestly. But it's only 4,300 songs ago. But I just love it because we wrote it so fast. I didn't even remember it when I left. And we wrote it, we just kind of went, we left. Then we went to demo it. And boy, it came out amazing on the demo. And it's just crazy how fast and slow and how long and how short songs come and go, So it's called The Highway. Oh, the high road is a road less traveled. It's wild and hard to scrabble. Hell on. But the high road take your breath away. And all the miles behind you find coming. You see the mountain, all the valley, all the river, far down the road. Oh, the high road might be lonely, but it's the only way to go. Oh, the high road is a heart. It's a sweet dream, something glory bound. It's ever winding, never easy. Oh, but even when I'm lost, where I'm on the high road, on the high road. There'll be hunger, doubts, and questions. Can't help but feel forsaken when the night turns bitter cold. But in the morning, when the sun shines just right, it'll show that such a love really pays. Oh, you'll see the mountain, all the valley, all the river, far down below. Oh, the high road might be lonely, but it's the only way. Oh, it's the only way. Oh, I see you on the high road. I see you on the high road.
Yeah.
Dear Sellers,
Man, that's a beautiful song.
thank you. I like that song. You know, I don't know if I should bring it up, but you know, Tia lost her husband last year, and so that song taking on a whole kind of different meaning every time I play it out now. But
Wow, that's amazing.
crazy.
Well, I have one more question for you,
Yeah, go
and
for it.
I'd love for you to play one more song if you want to.
Yeah.
Where do you look for inspiration, and does the well ever run dry?
You know, it sounds crazy. Obviously, the normal, you know, go to movies, listen to other music, you know, and not just country. You know, I haven't listened to country radio in probably 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I'll look at the top 10 and kind of go to YouTube for a day and kind of listen to what's going on. But I'm usually on Lightning 100 or talk radio or sports radio. But anyway, so other than the normal, pay attention to people talking, sit by a couple women at a bar, movies. We always got our antenna up wherever we go. But man, I love to walk around libraries.
Really?
I walk up and down library aisles looking at book titles.
Wow.
I can't tell you how many times I write down a thought or a title. That's probably my only way that's unusual. It's the same as everybody else, but that's one thing I actively do.
No, that's a great new secret that nobody probably thought of. I love it.
Dang it! I didn't. Yeah, that's probably the only weird thing I do that's not of the norm.
I love it. Well, I really appreciate you being here. And if you want to play us one more song, we love it.
I will. I'll play "Shut Up and Fish" because I didn't play that the other time. So here's a song it's a girl song. So don't look at me weird. But here's a song called "Penny Tape," and look at me as a girl. Either close your eyes or picture me in a skirt. Here we go. Megan, thank you for having me on today.
Thank you so much for taking the time. I really, really admire you. I'm sure you've played that song 10,000 times, but every time it's like the first one.
Oh, doing jammies and jammies. We all love it. When's your next night?
We're doing the live stream every Sunday. I have no idea when we're going to be in real life again.
Well, music's starting out now, right? I heard.
I heard, yeah. I know I've reached out to some people and they're still kind of fishy about,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's,
so.
it's just whether people will show up or not.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure we'll figure something out soon. But
I'm used to only 2 people showing up, so I don't even know the difference.
I know. That's how I feel. I'm with you.
All right, well, that's awesome.
All right. Well, I will hit you up as soon as I know. And yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Please do. Stay safe. Talk to you later.
You too. Have fun recording.
All right, thank you, Don. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.